Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. I am Lisa Fulford, your creative coach, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the state of Indiana, and I welcome you here. Today we are going to do a Make It Monday. I'm getting a little bit behind on some of my classes and things, but I am bringing these two really cute cards. I had an in-person class, and we did this fall card, and then we did this gorgeous Christmas card, and so that's what we're going to work on today, are these two cards. So let's get started with these. All right, so we'll do this one first. I'll set this one off to the side. And I'm choosing that one because it was what was on top. All right, so here are our bits and pieces. And I do have a ruler here because I have these pieces wrote down somewhere, but I don't have it in front of me. So we're going to take our card base, which is Cajun Craze, and it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then we have basic white here that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. We have another piece of Cajun Craze here, and this is, let's see, it is 5.5 or 4.5 inches long by 3 1/4 inches wide. But on this 4.5 inch long, it is scored at a half of an inch. So we're going to take that 1/2 inch strip right there, and we're going to fold on that, and we're going to crease. Let's see if I can find my bone. There it is, bone folder. And we're going to crease right on that. We're going to use our basic white. These things up out of the way, and we're going to add some glue. Line this up about like that with maybe what, 1/2 inch, close to that. I'm going to flip this over, open that little flap, then just add some, whoops, wood, did not mean to do that. Just going to add a little bit of glue. Okay. And bring that over. Flip it over and check. Make certain it's still fairly straight on how I want it. And it is. So now that I've put the glue there, and I just flipped over, make certain I had it straight. I didn't want it kind of cockeyed or anything. I'm going to add glue to the back of this. On those edges. It's getting more glue than I really want, and usually this glue is not that fast on coming out, but for today it is. So we're going to add this to the base. And get equal borders if we can. All right, so like that. Now we're going to bring in our DSP, and this DSP is the Gathering Together. It is gorgeous paper, but it's the Gathering Together number 165969. And so I'm going to take this piece here and add it to the front. The back side is beautiful too, but it looks so nice with the plaid here on the front. And we're going to line it up with that score line that was up here at the top that we glued down. At least I'm going to try. There we go. I'll take my, there we go. Make that where it'll stick better. And that piece, pardon me, I forgot to give you that size. That piece is 3 inches by 4 inches. And then we have a piece of old olive that is 4 by 2 3/4. And another piece of the DSP that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. We're going to add that to the front of this. That side's really pretty too. But I want the beautiful flat leaves. This goes together really quick, and it looks like you really spent a lot of time on this when you didn't. That's what it's really nice, is to have some really quick go-to card designs that really look like you put a lot into it. Okay, so we're going to take this ribbon, and we'll take my bottle of glue here, and we are going to wrap this around. And then we want to tie it in a knot. And I'm just using the bottle of glue so that I kind of get about the size of an opening that I need. And I'll explain here in a second. Sure. There we go. Well, I had it. I can tie this usually in no time if I'm not on camera, but that's how it always goes. Okay, so tie that knot, slide that off, and then I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to pull it tight. Now I need my scissors. I'm going to cut this. I look at this in 3s, so like if I was going to fold it into 3s, kind of like that. So I look at it as a third and a third and a third. So that's a third. And then this one's 2/3. So it's like 1, 2, and 3. If that makes sense. I'm going to take my piece here, and here's my knot. I'm going to put it around to the back. So I need some Scotch tape. And I'm going to fold one end over, put my tape right there on there. I'll trim this piece off just a little bit because I don't need all that. Put it on the edge right there. Okay, so now I have that piece down. I'm going to bring it around. I'm not going to pull it so tight that it bends it. Then I'm going to flip it over to the back again. And add my tape there. And that's how I have this knot. And I only needed to use a small piece of ribbon. So there's that. And then I can take my ribbon scissors and trim those. And you can trim them as long or as short as you want. All right, so this I'm going to add to here. So I'm only going to put glue on about the half of the end that has the ribbon. So I'll start here, there. I won't try to get any of that ribbon that's exposed, just to help hold it into place. And I'm going to do maybe a half of what I've got there. to get it straight, so I'm going to pick it up and look at it. Trying to get as straight as I can. And press. You could pop that up, but I think it's better to have it not, so that it doesn't have, it has more coverage, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's some of this off my desk here. All right, so for this one, I'm going to do some stamping on here, and it is going to be with the Amber Autumn, but I'm just going to use this Autumn Wishes out of the set. I have that right here, and I have my Early Espresso ink. I'm going to open that up, ink this up, stamp it here in the middle, and flip it over, stamp it here in the middle. That looks better. I'll close that right at the moment. And then I cannot find the right one, and it's where it's a little bit straighter here, and I have the dies for it, and I also have the punch, but I couldn't find the punch. This is as close to as I can, and I don't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but you can use any punch you want to do your sentiment. This one's retired, I'm pretty certain, but like I said, you can use any punch. I try not to use retired stuff unless it's mystery stamping, but I thought I had the one, and I cannot find it. So like that. That can be thrown away. And I know which side, because this one, the A is messed up. So I'm going to flip that over, grab my dimensionals. The backing's off. I'm going to get it as straight as I can. It actually looks pretty good. I'm going to flip this up, and I have a sentiment here that is so incredibly grateful for all my blessings, especially you. And I'm going to use the same Early Espresso. Let's hope that this does better the first time than what the other one did. I did just re-ink these, so that's kind of my fault. So try to get it as close to center. And that looks pretty good. And then, looking here for my embellishments that I cannot find. I took them to class with me, and I don't know if I didn't get them. Whoops. The chair keeps popping like it's going to dump me out. Well, let me look real quick and see if they're in my... I thought I grabbed everything because I had an in-person class. No, I did not. Here they are. So I don't have any embellishments on there, but I wanted to add them. Well, good golly, I lost I had the things in there. I must have dropped it. Well, I am batting 1,000 here. had them. They slipped out of the bag. Oh my goodness. When I walked over here, they were in the bag. Oh, there they are. All right. Oh my goodness. It never fails. So this is the low profile dots. That's what I like about them. Oh my goodness. I'm going to bring these in, and I'm going to use those with my take your pick tool. Grab one of these, and I think I'll add one there. Grab this one and add it there. And another one, and let's see. How about I add it? I don't know where I want to put it. How about there? And then there is my card. So here's the one from before, and here's this one with the sentiment on the inside. So there's card 1. Get this out of here. Put that over this one. Now we're going to do the Christmas card, and we're going to use these again. And now for that, for the greeting for the inside for both cards is the words for the season, and this so incredibly grateful for all my blessings, especially you, was the one we just used. And then this one here is going to be the one we're going to use for the Christmas card. May your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness, and that's the words of the season. So I'm using that one. And then for the front of the card, I'm going to use the ornamental Christmas for the 'tis the season. So I'm just using sentiments out of the stamp set because I want to show that if you have a few sentiments, you can make cards that are gorgeous with just some of the DSP. Okay, so here are the pieces for it. All right, so we have a card base here that's 4¼ by 11. And it's the thick basic white, and it's scored at 4 and 5.5. And then we have a piece of our red, real red card, no, cherry cobbler cardstock. And it is, let's see, it is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then our DSP should be 5 1/4, yep, by 4. And this is the paper that is the Elegant Pine Snowflake, and I love this paper. Love it, love it. This side is gorgeous, but this is the side we're using. So bring this down. Awful free flow now. It's usually I have to force it out of that ink bottle or that glue bottle. Sorry about that. So add some there. And it is a very small border. Wipe that glue away. Fix that later. Take this bone folder. Get some of this. Where the glue's at, you can see it. So okay. All right, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside of my card. That way, if I make a mistake, I can flip it around. So that, I'm going to let it dry. Open this up. I'm going to take, may your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness. pretty good to me. I need it to dry before I close my card, because if I don't, it will stick to that and show there. All right, so while that's drying, I'm going to set this off here to the side. We're going to do stamping on this piece, and this is our Old Olive, and it is 3 inches by 4 inches, which I think maybe is the same as the last card. What you may have already noticed, I'm using some of the same colors in the same sizes, plus taking stamps from the same stamp set. Tis the season. Looks pretty straight. You can see that right there. That's the Versamark, which is Versamark is a sticky type ink that's for watermarks, and it makes it where you can put embossing powder on and helps it to stick. Should have used my embossing buddy, but I didn't. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't go around this without touching where I've already stamped. I should have done it first, but that's okay. We'll make it work. I'll put my gold embossing powder on here, and then flick from the back. Now that looks pretty good right there. See how that is? Now I'm going to take and put my embossing powder back in my bottle here. That up. I like our embossing powder quite well. It is that wow. It seems to be finer than what we used to have. I'm going to heat emboss from the back so that it will melt and not blow any of the embossing powder away, and it'll raise the embossed area. There we go. There's our "'Tis the Season." Oh, I missed a spot because I was burning my finger. There we go. Down here at the bottom of the S, I did not have that melted. All right, so we're going to put this over here to finish cooling. We're going to add this to the front of our card, but before we do that, we're going to grab this piece of ribbon and we're going to use Scotch tape like we did on the last card, like that. We're going to do it about midway. We'll flip these over. I'll put my Scotch tape right. Sure I am. Put my Scotch tape right there, like that, and then I want to bring it around front. And you can either have the gold side showing or the green. See, there's two different sides that you can have. This one's a more gold. This side's more green. You probably can't see it in the camera, but this shows more of the gold. It might be the back side, but I like it. Pull this forward. I don't want to make it too tight to make it bow, but I want it to hold. Add my glue. Now it doesn't want to come out. There we go. And my glue. Where the ribbon's at. Right? Flip this over. Add to my card front, and it's going to be that small border once again. That. I want to make certain I get my card straight. So now you can see the white all the way around. Where it was kind of cockeyed a little bit. It wasn't hearing well. All right, so let's see if there's any sticky. There is. Just rub that glue eraser. Takes it away. Now let's take these two. I'm going to take my glue and add it to here. And this one, let's see, this one measures at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, which means this one should be 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Yep. I like my corners to have glue on them so that they don't pull up. This is one of those really small borders as well. Looks pretty good. Then we're going to add this to this piece, but I used in Stampin' Dimensionals. I started to say Stampin' Embellishments. Dimensionals. These go together very quickly, and it uses your stamp or your DSP, but it gives it where you don't have to use a bunch. Of course, this is a full sheet here, but this one here is just a smaller sheet. Now you want to balance out your edges, top and the two sides. Try not to press it down until you're ready, in case you need to take it right back up like I just did. Okay. I was going to put it on the back of the whole thing, but we'll just put it on the back of that. And now I'm going to glue this down. You might as well do it a little different each time. That way you can decide what you like better. So this one here, I glued this down and then popped the whole thing up. But now I'm doing it a little bit different this time, and that is okay too. And bring these in. take a large one, stick it there. Another larger one and put it there. A mini. Right down there. Another mini somewhere down here. And why not another large one up there? Press them all down. And then that is our card. And let's see if I have... See, that's water. So I don't have my spritz, I don't reckon. But you can take Wink of Stella and add Wink of Stella to your areas here. And see these little splotchy areas? You can just add Wink of Stella to those like it's snow. And you can make it as much or as little as you want. I'm just kind of going over any of the images because honestly, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. See if I turn this light off. If you can see it. I think you can see it shimmer, but it's hard to tell. Like right up in here, you can see the shimmer. See, like right there, right here. There, you can see it better if I put it on an angle. So that is just the Wink of Stella. Now I do put Wink of Stella in a spritzer bottle and spritz things, but the only one I can find is the water one, but that's fine. And so there is our card. So 'tis the season. And then the other card that we did is the Autumn Wishes. So those are the two cards that we did for today. I hope that you really enjoyed those. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy stamping.